Today we're having a Game Gear. This one's come in for some problems in booting, but it's not on the original board. It's been transplanted onto a brand new remade board by SYF. It's been sent to us to investigate the problem. Let's see whether it's going to be soldering or board, or perhaps the clean screen is also faulty. Here is the brand new board. So you can see this is obviously not the original Game Gear board. This is a remade, completely from scratch board. We've got the clean screen installed here, and we've also got our game slot that's just been cut here, I presume, to be fit easier on these pins. So this replaces the cartridge slot where you insert the game. And the customers wrote us a note of all the issues. The long story short is it basically doesn't seem to boot. So the first thing I want to do is boot this up and see if we can get to red light boot, and then game audio, ignoring the screen completely. The first thing we're going to need is a new game slot. So if we just open this up, you can see this board's already been installed here, and this is the part the customer didn't send. So this is the actual replacement slot for where the game gets inserted. What? Yeah. We've got a clean just connected for the power, and a clean amp for the audio. And then now we have the game slot connected, we can simply insert a game here. And if we turn on, we have power, we have all the indicator lights and the boot light, which is a good sign. There's no audio, can't hear anything, maybe just a little bit of noise. Do we have red light boot? Yes, we do. So it's got red light boot. We're looking at probably game load. So the first thing I can do is probably inspect all the ASIC for good solder joints or bad, and then inspect and maybe even replace this just to make sure we've got a good connection. All of the pins around the ASIC look perfectly fine. They're definitely soldered well, so there's no need to really refloat them. They're clean and on. But this connector is not the best. We've obviously got the cuts, even though these are just test points. But as you see, some of the copper could come out and join other copper where the cut's been made. As well as these joints are pretty dry with flux stains. And on the back, a similar issue. We've got all the kind of dirty, messy flux. So let's just take this off and swap this for a new one. And to solder the new one on, just put flux on the holes, place the solder in and wait a few seconds. Which, once I've cleared off that black, you can see the solder there. And you can see how much more this board is smoking. Look at that, compared to normal solder. Just applying solder through, and obviously something's burning on this board. I'm pretty sure it's that clear coating. That's the new connector all on. Now I'm going to do continuity checks from every one of these pins back to the ASIC, because I noticed when working on this, and I do not like the state of these trace connections here. So my guess is we're going to have some broken connections from here to here. And I didn't expect that many broken traces. With the new one on, you can see just how many traces were broken. There's absolutely tons. And I think it's something to do with this coating. Every time we're soldering, I know I've said it a few times now, but you're getting like this black, hard residue, whether it's something the customers used prior to install or not. But either way, that's all of them reconnected. There's also a broken trace over here. So let's see if that now works. So that's Sonic in, and the new game slot. Let's just turn on and listen for game audio first. There we go. So that's Sonic loading. Now let's just try and reconnect the clean screen. We have one of our screens connected because the customer didn't send one in. And there we go. Does the wheel work? Yep, so we've got the brightness wheel. Got Sonic working. So I think ultimately the problem was the customer's connector here had clearly damaged a ton of traces either going in or just from obviously the soldering, because this issue I'm mentioning, I think this is like a clear coat on to give it a nice colour. I've never seen this colour before, but I'm not a fan of how it solders myself. But that's it, that's up and running for the customer. So I'll get this one all cleaned up and sent back.